my goodness. I thought you got lost. I haven't seen you
No,
for
hi,
so long.
forever, Tamara. How have you been?
I've been good. How have you been?
Very good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah, we've been busy for about, yeah, the whole of Q4. We've been running around. It's been crazy.
Q4 is
Yeah,
a busy quarter for sure. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So it was really good. Yeah,
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that.
yeah. And Uncle
It's
is
good.
here for a year from my team, so yeah, so he's going to join in on most of the calls. But I also don't usually see you on a Thursday call.
Yeah, I was always on a Thursday call.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I always do Tuesday and Thursdays.
Okay, that's great. Because I know there was a
Yeah.
few weeks that you went in.
Oh, was there? Oh, maybe over Christmas or
I
something?
oh no, I think it was in September last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been a
Yes.
while.
Yeah. I remember that too. I was at a business conference, so there was someone else that was covering
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
But yeah, missed you. It's great to have you back. Or great to
Yeah.
be back.
Great to see you too. And welcome everyone. We are going to be diving into this week's CRM Connect call here. And this is actually part two of a two-part series that we're doing on essential workflows for your account. Last week, we talked about two essential workflows, and we are going to go over three more. And one of these we've actually already covered in another call as well. But the three essential workflows that we're going to go over here today, um, these are the reason that we do these is because automations are what help keep the motor running in your business, right? That's what keeps things happening behind the scenes so you don't have to really worry about it. It reduces the manual labor that can be involved. And the three workflows that we're going to talk about today are a re-engagement sequence. So if you have had leads that have come in to your business and gone cold, you haven't been able to convert them to a sale using your regular uh, processes that you have, this is going to help re-engage those cold leads. The next one is an upsell workflow. So let's say you add an order bump or a one-time offer to your funnel that you're building to increase your overall cart value. We're going to go over how to build that out inside of your account. And then the one that we've already done just actually the beginning of this month is an abandoned cart recovery sequence. So that's when somebody fills out part of the form in your sales process but doesn't proceed to pay, right? So we're going to go over that one as well so that you can start to plug that leak in your sales funnel and retarget those people back to the offer and get them to purchase. So we are going to start like we always do with just going over sort of the framework that we recommend here at Sales Process that you focus on and those five pillars that are so important to every business just to keep moving. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so this is the sales process growth formula. These are the five pillars of business that Peng Joon focuses on in his business and that every business owner should focus on, right? These are the five most important things. It's leads, people. How do you attract those leads? How do you convert those people to purchase in your business? How do you increase your average cart value? So what does that mean? How do you get people to buy more? How do you get people to spend more in your business? What are some systems? What are some strategies that you can use to get people to spend more. And then number 4 is the frequency. How can you increase the frequency of either gathering leads, converting sales, increasing your cart value? How many times people buy? How can you increase that frequency? And then number 5, which is my favorite because I'm a little bit of a tech nerd, is systems and processes. How do you build those systems, those automations in the back end to keep everything running like a well-oiled machine? And so today we're focusing a little bit, and these always cross over, right? There's always crossover in all 5 of these pillars. Today we're focusing a little bit on systems and processes. We're going to talk about a little bit of average cart value, right, with upsells and order bumps. And we're also going to talk about your leads and how we can re-engage those leads inside of your sales process account. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the re-engagement workflow. So we're going to dive into your sales process account. So if you want, you can come and share your screen with me.
That Aquafis is patchy.
Sorry? What did you say?
Oh no, sorry, I was just talking about my
Oh, okay.
audio
Okay.
was on.
No worries. Okay. So we're gonna, let me just get my account up here. There we go. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is how do we re-engage those leads that have come into our world and have gone cold? First of all, you have to have a process in place that you are able to identify who are those leads, right? So a couple of situations where you have the ability to do this, that is, if you don't have a process in place to identify a cold lead, we at Sales Process have some filters that you can use that will help you identify those leads. But I highly recommend always categorizing your leads into categories as they come into your business. And we use pipelines here at Sales Process to do that. So pipelines are basically categories that we put people in based on where they're at in our system, right? And so you'll hear me call them pipelines. They're also known as opportunities inside of Sales Process here. But basically, it's just identifying what stage is my buyer at, so or my lead at. So if we click on opportunities, you'll see here that this is a simple purchase pipeline. And these are the 3 stages that we're basically categorizing our lead in. So they come into our world, they either purchase, they either abandon their cart, or they're considered lost, right? And so it's important to track those lost leads. And I would categorize an inactive or sort of a dead lead or a cold lead as lost, right? Someone who hasn't purchased. And so you have the opportunity to, once you put them in a category, you can then gather up all of those lost leads and send them through a re-engagement sequence that will hopefully garner more income for your business, will get them interested in your services that you provide again, and actually change them from a cold lead to either warm or hot, right? So that's why it's important to use pipelines so that you can categorize your leads. But if you're not using pipelines, what are some other ways that we can gather up our people and identify them inside of Sales Process? Another way is just inside of your contacts, It's about using the filters in your contact list to be able to add tags, add them to automations based on their activity inside of your account. So one of the first things that we're going to look at here is the ability to be able to filter inside of your account. So when you're in contacts, you have over here more filters. And this is where you can start to gather people together, right? So one of my favorite ways is to look at when was the last time they opened an email that I've sent to them. Has it been 90 days? Is it last time that they opened an email 90 days ago? So what you can do here is if we click on filter and we type in the word email, you can see that these are some of the different filters that come up with that in mind. So you can look at when was the last time they have an email clicked that they clicked on? When is the last time they opened an email, right? So these are some of the filters we can use. So let's say we want to look at the last time they opened an email. So we click on this filter and we can see last email open date is and you have all of these choices, right? Which month it was in, more or less than. So if we say if it's more than 90 days ago, here, and we apply that, what happens is it categorizes my contacts over here and shows me who those people are. Now, remember, this is a demo account, and all of these contacts in here are just either myself or pretend contacts. They're not actually real email addresses. And so what I can do from here is I can select all of these people and I can add a tag to them. So I could tag them as maybe cold leads, right? I could do that. Or I could add them to a workflow to try to re-engage them in interest in our business, right? So we can use these filters to help us find out information about the leads that we have already if we don't have a pipeline set up. So we can't add these people to a workflow until we build it. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to build a workflow so that we can re-engage these people and offer them our services again. Okay, so we're going to go now into automations and we're going to build a workflow. So we're going to go create a workflow, start from scratch. And we actually are not going to put a trigger on this because what we're going to do is we have categorized those people who haven't opened an email from us in the last 90 days. And we are going to automatically, we're going to add them to this workflow manually. Okay, so we don't actually need a trigger here. So maybe what we want to do is when we add them to this workflow, we want to create a tag. So let's create a tag and we will call this email re-engagement. Okay, so we'll create that tag. We'll put that up here. And that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to tag them. Then the second thing we're going to do is we're going to send them a message, right? So we're going to send them a message that we have created to try to get them to open an email. So the very first thing we have to focus on is, of course, the subject line. We want to make the subject line as curiosity-inducing as we can to get their interest piqued and see about opening that email and then getting them to read. So you really want to make it something that is going to pique their interest. You know your audience best. What are some things that you might say to them to grab their attention? You could, I've seen people be so creative in this area. You could say things are like, are we, or you could put in here, or is this goodbye? If I can spell, there we go. So you really want to take some time, use Chat GPT, ask it to come up with a couple different subject lines that will create curiosity, create them, encourage them to click on that email to open it. And then inside, you want to be sure that the content of your email brings them back to your business offers, right? Brings them back to either book a call with you or check out, what maybe one of your low ticket offers. Craft that email so that it brings them back. And so we would put our email in here and we would save that. So that's going to be the first message, right? Then we're going to see, we want to do a condition. We want to, what we want to do is we want to wait. So we're going to wait. We're going to put in a wait step. And let's say we wait 1 day. Okay. Then what we want to do is we want to put in an if-else condition to gauge what was the reaction to that email. Did it get opened? Did it get clicked? We can test for both of those. So we're going to say we want a condition. And we're going to say, did they open the email? Okay. And so we're going to say yes or no in our branches here. And what we want to do is we're looking for an event. So an email event. We're gonna have to change our wait step first. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. We'll change our wait step and we're gonna change it to event. Let's see. Email events, that's what we want. Okay, there we go. So we want them to have opened this, okay? So we want to check and wait. And once that email is opened, we want them to move forward. So if it opens, what do we want to do? Do we want to send them another email? Do we want to tag them or categorize them in some way, right? So you can build out all sorts of actions that take place. But in this case, maybe we want to send them another message. And you could put in here, you could say, I saw what you did, or I saw you opened my email. And then you could write your email in a way to invite them back, right? Invite them back into your world again and see if they are interested in any of the services that you provide. Okay. So this is a very simple re-engagement workflow, but it is a way for you, because I think sometimes we give up on our leads too quickly, and it takes a lot of time and effort to collect a lead. So let's use the tools that we have inside a sales process to keep the leads that we have engaged, to keep their interest peaked, and to really try and service them now that we have their attention, right? So here's our re-engagement workflow. We would publish this. I want to name this, of course. And save it. So now I'm going to show you how I would add those people to this email list or to this workflow, because you notice again, I don't have a trigger up there. So I'm going to go back to my people, to my contacts. I'm going to filter again using the email filter. And so I'll say last email opened is more than 90 days ago. And then what I can do is I can click at the top here and it selects all of those contacts. And then I would add them to this workflow. Or sorry, not that one. I'm pointing at the wrong one. Add to automation. Automation and workflow, same thing. You'll hear those two words used and they mean the same thing. So we're going to click on the little robot head and it says, please note the actions will be performed over a period of time. You can track the progress on the bulk actions page, and I'll show you where that is. We're going to click OK, proceed. Then we have to tell the system which workflow do we want to add them to. So I want to add them to, just take a minute here, or maybe I'll put my name in. Okay, so let's find that one. Oh, here we go. Now you have the option here to add all at once. And whenever you're sending email, you have to think about this. And you want to maintain the health of your email list. And so if I had more than 7 contacts that I was sending this to, I would always want to use a drip function because I don't want to blast out a bunch of email. So let's say I had a list of, 20,000 people who hadn't opened my email in more than 90 days. I don't want to all of a sudden just blast that out to everyone all at once, right? So I want to use a drip mode. And here I would just say manual re-engagement workflow. And then I can tell them, I can do it right now. I can start on, or I can schedule it to happen at a certain time or day, right? And I can choose my date and everything. I'm going to suggest that you don't make your batches very big. Like I would say maybe, depending on how long you've been emailing your list and how warm your email sending domain is, just do like 20 at a time. Of course, if it's a huge list, you don't want it to take 3 weeks for it to drip out, right? But just based on the size or whatever, you want to create your batch quantity, and you can send this out every 5 minutes, right? So you can choose, if you don't want to send it out on weekends, you can shut those off just by clicking on them, right? And you can also choose a time during the day if your drip is going to take, if it's going to cover more than one day, you can say, I only want you to send between the hours of 9 and 5 every day. And then it would stop and wait till the next day before it began dripping out again. And then you would just add these people to an automation, right? And so what this is saying, it says it's been scheduled. You can check here for the progress. You click OK. So once you've put those people into the workflow, if you ever want to check on how did that workflow go, how did it do, you go up here into bulk actions. And up here in bulk actions, you're going to see there's that manual re-engagement workflow. It's saying that it's queued, right? It's not complete, it's queued, so it's scheduled. And here you can click on and it will tell you when it's going out, the days that it's going out, the batch size, and how it's going out 20 people at a time every 5 minutes. Okay. So that is a re-engagement workflow. And that's something that you may want to do when you feel like, I've got all these leads, but I feel like they're cold. I feel like I need to poke them a little bit, re-engage them, re-interest them in the products and services that I offer. Does anyone have a question? Any questions about that workflow that we just created together? Feel free to unmute or put your question in the chat. We'll let you have a look at that again. So that's how I bypass the trigger, is by manually adding them to the workflow. Okay, so I manually add them here. I don't need to have a trigger. And then this is what's happening. You can obviously build out this workflow to do anything you want, but this is just a simple re-engagement workflow to try and get them interested and more aware of you as a business. If there are any questions, you can go ahead and unmute or feel free to put them in the chat as well. We are going to move forward with our second workflow. And then at the end of the class, we're going to just go over the abandoned cart sequence, which is our third workflow for this class that we did a couple weeks ago, because we've just covered that one as well. So the next one that the next automation that we're going to cover is how to set up a workflow for an upsell or a one-time offer, so an order bump or an upsell, or what else can we call it? It could be for a downsell. It could be for one-time offer, order bump. There's lots of different names for these, but just so you know, you can use this for any of those. So we are going to jump back in and take a look at how do we set up a workflow for a upsell. So let's first of all, we'll go over a funnel that might possibly have an upsell, right? So let's go in here and let's see. I'm gonna try this one. Let's see what this one has. Oh no, that's a strategy page or a strategy call. Hold on. We'll find one with an upsell. Let's see. I think maybe the Black Friday one does. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So here's the steps in your funnel. Here's the sales page. This is where you talk about your offer. This is where you have your big headline that you try to get people's attention with. So let's say they decide, yeah, they're going to purchase that first offer on your sales page. They purchase the first offer, and then it takes them to a one-time offer here. And this, we want to make sure we have something attached to it here. Okay, we do. Okay, so this is a one-time offer. It's labeled as a one-time offer on your funnel. And we are going to build a workflow to process this one-time offer if somebody decides to purchase, okay? So let's go back to our automations. And we're going to start from scratch. Oof, that's really big. What happened there? Oh, there we go. Okay, so we are going to okay. First of all, we need to talk about the trigger. Now, usually when you have someone purchase something inside of a funnel, you're going to use an order form submission trigger. And that is going to be based on the action that they take inside of the funnel using the order form as a trigger. We are going to use the order form as a trigger here, but rather than a sale, we have to identify the action that they take inside of the funnel as an upsell. Okay, so here's how we do that. We're going to use our workflow trigger and type in order form. So as we see, I just typed in the word order, and then it comes up with these actions and triggers. So I want to use the word order form, or the trigger order form submission. So then I have to tell the system, well, which order form is it, right? So I'm going to use filters, and I'm going to say in funnel, which I'm going to tell the system which funnel it's in. And I need to find my Black Friday funnel. I have too many of these in here. Let's see, I'll try this one. That's the Black Friday funnel. Then I want to tell them what page this is on. So this is going to be on OTO1, right? That was what the title of our page was. The step of our funnel was one-time offer 1. So I'll tell the system that that's the page I'm looking at. And then I want to say, you can tell the system what the product is. You don't have to if you only have one product offered on there. So really what I want to focus on is the submission type, right? So the submission type is going to be not a sale, not an opt-in. And in this case, it's not an order bump. It's actually an upsell, right? It's upsell or one-time offer. Those are, I wish they would change this to match what we call it. Like we always call it a one-time offer, but they call it an upsell in the system, in the software. So that's what we want to identify it as an upsell. And that's going to be our trigger. So if somebody chooses to purchase the upsell, this workflow is going to fire off, okay? And so of course, after the workflow trigger fires off, we want to be able to tag them, right? We want to add a contact tag. And let's say you could put in here purchase OTO, and then maybe the name of the OTO, like if it's your strategy session or something like that, right? Just so your tag is descriptive enough. So then we would add that here. We would add the tag. And then what do we need to do to deliver that service to them? So if it's a strategy session and they've purchased it, we want to send them an email to book the call, right? With a link to book a call for the strategy session. Let's say it was a course instead of a strategy session. Well, then what you'd want to do is send them an email with instructions on how to access that course, right? So this is all about delivery of that one-time offer. What do you need to send your person to deliver the purchase that they just made? So in this case, we'll say it's an email, and I wouldn't title it that, but here is your strategy session booking link. Okay, and then you would put that information in the email to be delivered to them. Okay, and so this is how you get a one-time offer to fire. Okay, I see a question coming in. Let me just grab that. Oh, it's just our AI friends. Okay, so how would I change this trigger if it was an order bump? Well, you saw when I was checking here for submission type, if this was an order bump that they had purchased instead of an OTO, I would want to classify this as a bump purchase. That's how I tell the system to be looking for, if they purchase a bump, that's different, right, than a one-time offer or an upsell. Now, if you were trying to do a downsell and you were putting it on a page, you would still use the same as an upsell. Upsell, downsell, they are showcased on a funnel page the same way, but you would call it an upsell in the workflow. Okay. So if you were trying to do a downsell, it would also be called an upsell, just because that's just the way the system is set up. That's how it recognizes it. So even if it's a downsell, you would still call it an upsell. Okay. So this here is the fourth foundational workflow that you're going to need when you're trying to focus on pillar 3 of the exponential growth formula, right? And just to take you back to that, when we are trying to increase our average cart value, so we want to increase how much people spend with us each time they visit us, this is an important workflow to know how to build into your system. Okay? Any questions on upsells, downsells, one-time offers, order bumps, anything, any questions about those? Okay. If not, we are going to move on to a workflow that we recently built. And I'm actually, oh, just one sec. We're just going to go over the abandoned cart sequence, okay? Because we have done this in the past couple of days, but an abandoned cart sequence is very important to plugging leaks in your funnel. So how does an abandoned cart sequence work? What does that mean? First of all, you have to understand that you are using a 2-step order form on your funnel. So what that means is they have to go and push that button on the order form twice to complete a purchase. The first part asks for their name and email, and then they submit that information. And part 2 is where they put in their payment information and push the button to buy the product, right? If you use a 1-step order form, you can't attach a workflow to it to have an abandoned cart sequence, because it asks for all of their information in 1 step. There's no way to capture their name and email first. So that's why I am a big fan of 2-step order forms, because it helps you plug those leaks in your funnel. Abandoned cart sequences work off the fact that they've given you their name and email, but they didn't purchase, okay? So the beginning of this month, we built out an abandoned cart sequence. So we're just going to go over that again. And what we're doing here is we are using the order form submission again as the trigger. But this time, the submission type is not a sale, it's not an upsell, and it's not a bump. It's just an opt-in. Opt-in means all they gave us was their name and email. Okay? So that is the thing that's going to trigger this order form. So when you think about it, every person who purchases ends up in this workflow. So that's why we have steps inside of this workflow to check and see whether they actually completed the purchase or not. So after they submit that first part of the order form, they automatically get put in here. Then we have a wait step where we sit, and they will sit in this step for 20 minutes. Then we ask the system to say, did they purchase? Did they follow through after 20 minutes? Did they actually end up purchasing? So we're using an if-else condition in here. And then I always like to turn these into questions, right? Did they purchase? The answer is either yes or no, right? And how am I asking the system to look for that purchase? Well, in my purchase workflow, I tag them, right? I tag everybody who purchases the product because I want to know, be able to segment my list based on their purchases, right? So the tag includes purchase demo course. So that's what I'm asking the system to look for. If they have this tag after 20 minutes, then that's considered a purchase. If they don't, that's a different path, right? So let's say, did they purchase? Yes. Then they just fall out of this workflow. I don't need to worry about them proceeding through to the next steps. Here, if the answer is no, they still haven't purchased, what I'm doing here is adding a tag that they have been added to the abandoned cart sequence. I am updating my pipeline to put them, let's take a look at this, to put them into the abandoned cart stage, right? Then I'm sending them an email and I'm saying, hey, did you forget something? You want to grab their attention and bring them back to your sales funnel so that your email has to have an eye-catching subject line. And then it also has to have a link in it to bring them back to the sales funnel, right? So either you can choose to bring them back to the sales page, or you can bring them back to the order form. It's up to you. You might want to test that out, see which one works better. But that's what your first initial message needs to have in it. And then we put in another wait step. So usually I create an email series that is about between 1 to 3 messages. And you can do as many as you want. You can do 5, you can do 7, doesn't matter. It's up to you what works best for you. But this one here is just a 3-message abandoned cart sequence where we send out the message, then we wait 1 day. Then we're asking the system again, did they come back because of this email and purchase? If yes, then we're removing their abandoned cart sequence tag. If no, I'm sending them another message. And again, this message is trying to get them to, number one, the first goal is for them to open the email. And then the second goal is for them to come back and purchase, right? So we want to include that link. And then I have another wait step here after I send the email for another day. And then I'm asking the system once again, did they purchase? Yes or no? And here I'm sending out the third message. I wait another day, even though I said this is a 3-email sequence. You would think it would end after I send the 3 emails, but I also want to know, what was the verdict? Like, did this work? Did I get them to purchase? So I wait another day and I ask the system, did they purchase? If yes, amazing. Take the abandoned cart sequence tag off. If no, I'm still going to remove the abandoned cart sequence tag, but then I'm also going to change and put them into my lost category on my pipeline. Okay? That's how, what I can do then is I can, after I launch something, after I have, 2 weeks of promotion where I am promoting this particular product, after that promotion time, I can come back and look at my abandoned cart sequence and see, did it work? If not one single person moved from abandoned cart sequence to purchase, then I have a messaging problem, right? I need to tweak the emails that I'm sending out. I need to do something. But if I'm not measuring that, I don't know. I don't know if it's working or not. So that's why it's as important to track your one, so WON, as in one purchases, as it is to track your lost purchases. That will tell you if your systems are working. Does anybody have any questions about an abandoned cart sequence workflow? Okay. If a question comes up as I'm talking, feel free to unmute. Feel free to pop it into the chat. So that concludes the series that we were working on. This was part 2 of the 5 essential workflows that you need to have in your business, right? So if we go back and we look at the exponential growth formula, the 5 essential workflows that we have been working on were the abandoned cart sequence, the re-engagement sequence, your upsell or order bump sequence, your follow-up reminders we did last week. So this is for if someone books a call, how do we make sure they show up? By reminding them, right? And that's what we built last week. And then we also built out a welcome email sequence. So that's for people when they first come into our world through our lead magnets, through appointments. They come into our world, and then we want to create a welcome sequence for them to go through so that they can learn more about us and we can sort of nurture that relationship that's started. Okay, so this week's homework for our monthly Facebook contest, I will go over that here. So we are going to go over our sales process contest. And I see some new faces here, so I will talk about the contest, let you know about it. Every month here at Sales Process, we have a contest for homework. And you have the opportunity 5 times a week to attend these office hours calls, and every host will give you some homework to post into the Facebook group. And you have the opportunity to win some really amazing prizes. So this is that process here. So I'll share my screen again. And here I want you to build 2 of the foundational workflows that we went over, either today or the ones that we talked about last week during the CRM call, okay? I want you to build 2 of those workflows in your sales process account, and then you're going to share a screenshot of those 2 workflows inside of the Facebook group, okay? So you have 48 hours to complete the homework from the end of this call, and then you can post those screenshots of your homework inside the Facebook group. Okay? So, what are the prizes? We have 3 prizes that we give out here. And the first prize is a strategy session with Peng Joon. He will take a look at your offer. He'll take a look at your sales funnel, your traffic strategy, everything that you're doing, all your marketing. He'll take a look at that, and he will tell you what he would do if this was his offer. So you get to spend some one-on-one time with Peng Joon, and he will take a look at what you're doing, and he will make recommendations for what he would change. This is an amazing opportunity to get his eyeballs on your offer and to hear how he would optimize it, right? People pay thousands and thousands of dollars for him to take a look at their offers all the time. So this is an excellent opportunity for anybody who would like his advice. You also get the Internet Mastery Retreat Live ticket to the retreat that is happening in Malaysia in March. I don't have the final dates for everything yet, but I do know that it's happening in Malaysia in March. They're having a live event at that time, okay? The second prize goes to, you get an opportunity to sit down with Marcus. And Marcus is the ads genius behind Sales Process and behind Peng Joon's business. He runs all of Peng Joon's ads, and he's very, very good at it. So he will take a look at your ads performance, your targeting, your traffic strategies. He'll talk to you about what he would do for split testing with your offer, your particular offer, and he will give you advice on how to get the most out of your Facebook ads that you're running. Okay. How can you squeeze every dollar out of that ad budget? And you also get an Internet Mastery Retreat live ticket. And then third prize is a ticket to the retreat. And again, that's happening in March of this year in Malaysia. So if you can, if you have the opportunity to go, I highly recommend it. Okay. So within the next 48 hours, you just have to post your biggest takeaway from today's call, along with the 2 screenshots of the workflows that you built. Make sure that you use the hashtag sales process wins in your post, because that's how the team identifies your entries. And then the draw will be made for the contest at the end of January. Okay. And remember that you only have your entry is only valid if you complete it within the next 48 hours. And here is every opportunity that you can come to the 5 office hours that we have here at Sales Process. We have one every single day, Monday to Friday. And I am the host on Tuesdays and Thursdays here. And then there's other hosts Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And they will all have homework for you to do, and you can post that inside of the Facebook group. Now, if anybody does not know where the Facebook group is, if you need to find the Facebook group, you haven't become a member yet, inside of your sales process account, you will find join our community right here. You can click on that and request to join the Facebook group and get inside there so that you can post your homework in there and get your entries in for the contest. Does anybody have any questions about today's homework?
Yeah, sorry, Tamara. Just what is you said there was 4 workflows. What is the 4 workflows again?
Sure, yeah. So we covered actually five of them so we did 2 last week during the CRM call. And the 2 that we did last week was a welcome sequence. And we did an appointment reminder workflow. So they booked an appointment and then we sent them follow-ups to make sure that they show up for their appointment. And then today we went over the abandoned cart sequence, and we talked about the upsell or downsell order bump workflow, and then the re-engagement workflow. So you can choose any 2 of those and post them in the Facebook group for homework for this week, for this call here.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions that I can answer? Stop sharing. Any other questions? Does anybody have any questions about sales process? It doesn't have to be about the workflow, the workflows we've been going over. Does anyone have any, are they bumping into any tech issues inside a sales process that you need some help with? Christina's asking, she says, I'm already eligible for the March live event. Is the same thing as the contest price? So if you already have a ticket, is that what you're saying, Christine? You've already got a ticket? Then that would mean you could still enter the homework contest and you would just get another ticket if you won. Yeah, so that's if you already have a ticket to the live event, then that's that would just be in addition to that. So yeah. Who's all going to Malaysia? Are you going, Chandra? Are you going to the Malaysia event?
Chances are high, but yeah,
Okay.
it's just a far travel from South Africa, so we'll have a
Yeah.
look. Yeah, but chances are high.
Awesome.
I went last year, so it is absolutely worth it.
Yes. Yeah. I enjoy the live events. They're really good. So if you get an opportunity to go, make sure you go for sure. yeah, if anybody has any questions or is running into any issues inside of the software, let me know. I can walk you through it. Okay. Well, we have had a very productive week here. We have one more office hours calls tomorrow at for the Friday office hours, and it's another week of January that's gone by. I can't believe it already. So we are buzzing through this month, and that's that. We will continue on next week with some more trainings and some more opportunities for you to enter the contest. And I look forward to seeing you guys then. Thanks so much for attending, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great week, guys. I hope it is productive.
Thank you, Tamara.
Thank you. It's so good to
Bye.
see you.
Glad to be back.